Alright, good evening everyone. My name is Scar Navarro. I am the Drama King, where life is drama, drama is life. And I'm sorry I took a right now I just took a bit of a hiatus, just just to handle some things here and there, just focus on both work and meetings. I also have a life outside of YouTube, just like everyone else, but I also have to do my own things here and there, and just take a break here and there, just to recharge and recharge, re-energize, and charge myself back up. All right, guys. I wanted to talk to you guys about chasing the bag and the chasing the bag mentality that all of us have been so accustomed since recently. And chasing the bag has been around like since the early days, and it's all about doing everything and everything and anything we can to survive, and have not just the latest things, but even pay off some debts, pay off some mortgage, for those who are homeowners, get a new car, or get a degree, or saving up for retirement, or whatever you want and whatever you desire. But but today I saw a video from Lovely T, and shout out to her. Um, and she talked about Sukihana. If you guys don't know who Sukihana is, she's a rapper. She's also is on Love and Hip Hop, and also she also has an OnlyFans page. And hey, if you want to open up an OnlyFans page, hey, you have every right to do whatever you feel like you're okay with. And as long as you know what you want, it is your decision, and it is all about knowing what you want to do with it and how you want to do with it. And we live in a page where everyone and everything's getting an OnlyFans, from A-listers to Z-listers, but hey, I'm no one to judge here, but hey, you do what makes you feel like you're okay with. But you always have to know, regardless of everywhere you go, even if it's not OnlyFans, or even if it's a job, or even if it's at school, or wherever you are going, you always want to know what are the rewards and what are the risks and what are the consequences. The rewards are, hey, you know what? I want to get more money. I want to get a bag. I want to get the latest car. I want to get the latest house. I want to pay off my debts wherever and wherever. And then there's always a risk, is what am I gonna how am I gonna put myself in a situation, and what are my chances if I want to do something that I feel like I'm okay with, and what are the risks, what are chances in which place where I'm not comfortable with, and the consequences is, what will people think of me, what do I think of myself, what can I hold within myself, and how do I feel, or how am I okay with this. And it's not just opening an OnlyFans, but wherever decision that you go, and wherever road that you are going in life. But knowing about how you feel about it, and knowing what steps are you doing to make sure that you at least have the bag. And everyone has a right to do the bag, as long as it's safe, legit, and as long as not just pays the rent though, but at least gives you some experience as well. And at the end of the day, you have every right to decide what you want, and the content that you feel about that choice. And hey, we're all gonna make good choices, and we're not gonna make so great choices, but we're all human. But overall, though, why am I speaking about this? Because of a video that was leaked, or supposedly leaked, which I heard that it wasn't, but I can't clarify that. It's about Sukihana sucking on a guy's sausage and even throwing up in it, and even doing it while there's been vomit around her. And yes, this is even I found it quite disturbing as well. And hey, we all have a right to we all have a right to enjoy what we like. And hey, I always believe, you know what, you have ever, and you know what, I'm all about sex positivity as well. But as long as you're doing safe with safety, consent, and as long as you are comfortable enjoying it. But in there, she looked like she was crying and didn't look okay with it. What Lovely T said, she also posted a video where she had to defend herself. And I'm like, wow. Wow, and I've heard so many crazy stories about people being abused, and I'm just like, what's wrong with her? And I'll never put someone down for what they're doing at all. But do you know what you're putting yourself into if it's a situation that isn't safe for you? Like, I know you want to do, hey, you have a right to do what you want, but you always have to know, is this right for me? And even if it's like, even if it's not sex, or even if it's any choice that you go in life, you always want to ask yourself that question, regardless of what you're doing and what you're doing. Where are you, and what, when, where, and how? Because every choice will impact your life, no matter what. And yet, hey, I will never put down anyone for what they do. Just like I said earlier, and you have every right to do what you need to do in order to survive, because right now we are still dealing with the pandemic since early this year, but also because of unemployment and so many things, so there's people who are still struggling to pay the bills, who are trying to get food, or trying to get a new job, or trying to make sure they have a roof over their heads. And I know it's been tough, and it's still tough, especially for those who are losing their jobs, even having to do what they need to do in order to survive. And it's a tough world out there, and it just still is today. And even survival of the fittest has been there for a very long time. And even before we were all born, we all had to hustle in order to provide support, provide for our families, provide for our kids, provide for our parents, provide for whoever. And we always want to have that goal about the bag, whether it's getting a master's degree, whether it's opening up a business, or whether it is getting back into school to get a master's degree, or just saving up for retirement, even having to get a new job, open an OnlyFans, or just for fans, or Is My Guy, or just just trying to go towards a different career path. But as long as you feel like you're okay with it, and that you're safe with it, and that you feel like you're comfortable in it, even having to ask yourself, what are the risks, what are the consequences, and what are the rewards? And it's all about knowing and respecting yourself, whether if you're a guy or a gal or whoever. You always want to know what your worth is, and what you're putting yourself into, and what you feel like it is safe and comfortable, but also doing it while trying to make money, but doing it in a way where you feel like you're okay with it. Because because of so many issues, such as sex trafficking, human trafficking, and all that sick stuff that we're still dealing with, we still need to think about that. At the end of the day, though, Sukihana is entitled to whatever she decides, and that's not up to you, that's not up to me, that's up to her. And at the end of the day, she has children, she has to feed her kids, and hey, provide for family, and whatever she does to make sure that they have a roof over their heads. And I don't know her like that. I don't know her like that at all. But learning from Lovely T, and just watching her videos, though, at least I get something out of it. At least I learned something from it. And even if you agree or don't or disagree though, but you always learn something from someone. And you always have a right to know, decide what you feel like you're okay, because one, it's your choice, your body and your choice. And nobody should tell you what or when to dictate it, but you always want to know for yourself what are the rewards. I'm already repeating myself again, but this is important. And what are the risks? And what are the consequences? As everywhere we go in life, though, we always want to make sure, am I okay with it? As long as you know, as long as you make the money, get the new car, or buy a new apartment, or going back to school, or whatever you decide that you're okay with, or deciding on a new career path, such as being a nurse or being a teacher, or just becoming a business owner, or whatever you think you're okay with. But as long as you are safe and you're doing it in a legit way, regardless of what you do or whatever you do. And even in our day, there's also have to succumb to drug dealing or cocaine or drug dealing, like all the terrible things. But yet we also have to realize though, like, if you have kids though, you always want to teach them about not just hard work, but if you do have kids though, you always have to think about that as well. And realize one, my kids could see what I'm doing, and I don't want to let them down. But one, you always want to think about how you feel, and for those who have children, what your kids, your family, your friends, or whoever, or co-workers, or think about the decision that you made, even if it's whatever you do, as long as you know you're okay with it. But it's important to always have that conversation to know about not just getting the bag, but knowing how to get it in a legit manner. But as long as you're doing it safely, and as long as you're doing it with your consent, and with you being in charge of it. And we always want to teach our kids, even for those who do have children, about the importance of chasing our goals. And it's not just about the bag, but the bag of importance, such as college, or moving out of your parents' house, or being in a marriage, or being a business owner, whatever you feel like you're okay with. And there's even those who I've met in high school who even hustle just to save up and get to do something in life as well. But whether it's opening up a business, or buying equipment, or whatever means to survive. And I'd rather call it survival culture, because survival culture has been existing since the beginning of time. But one, you always want to know, even with so much nowadays, so you always want to make sure to know, what am I doing to make sure that I'm okay with. Make sure not just to get the bag, but make sure to pay the rent, pay the bills, make sure to get food on the table, make sure I have a roof over my head, and make sure that I at least know that what I'm doing is okay. And whatever you decide, it's fine. It is fine by you. Nobody else but you. And I know we all live in a world where everybody's opening up OnlyFans, or an online business, or whatever, but just for a means to make sure all of us survive. Because one, for those who pay OnlyFans, you're also paying for not just a subscription, but you're also contributing to make sure that person pays person pays their bills, and person makes sure, has a roof over their head as well. Because when the things we subscribe to, whether it's Patreon or Hulu or Netflix, one we pay for those, and then one, it makes a deal business out of it, and one, I'm not an expert on this either, but one, you always have to know what you're getting yourself into, regardless if you're paying for it or if you are doing it yourself. But then we also need to think about not just the bag, but the important bags that we need, such as water, electricity, online, the phone, even the things we need to survive. And it's not just the latest designer bag, the latest clothes and things like that, because one, even with COVID-19, there's still people trouncing and flouncing and whatever without realizing there's people who are just trying to make it. And even those who are trying to make it, even for those who have unemployment as well, even trying to get unemployment benefits as well. Like, one, overall though, learning about this and watching it, Lovely T's video in regards to Sukihana's OnlyFans, so also made me learn, what am I doing to make sure that I chase the bag. And it's not just the Gucci bag or the Chanel bag or the Versace bag, but the bags such as like paying the bills, or such as phone bills, subscription bills, medical bills, the rent, are my yearly taxes. So many of those you also have to think about, or even for those who have to pay card payments or utility payments or student loans or fees. We also have to realize before we get the bag though, we also make sure that we at least have the money to pay for what is important as well, or even debts, or even credit card debts as well. And deep down though, we all have the right to hustle and work wherever we can. One, you are entitled to do whatever you feel like you're happy. But as long as you know what you're getting yourself into, and knowing what the risks, rewards, and consequences. And not being repetitive, but this is important though for all of us to also think about, especially with the times that we're living in as well. Especially since we're living in the COVID era, we also have to realize though the things we have to make sure that we are trying to work hard, but knowing that it's a job that I like, or something I want to open up and show my talents. And overall though, it's your body, your choice, and your money, the way you handle it, but always want to make sure you know what's best for you. Alright guys, thank you guys for this. Thank you guys, and I'm happy to be back again, and I'm gonna start scheduling things now, just to make sure I keep myself organized and try to balance everything here and there. But hey, we all need a break here and there, and hopefully you guys are doing okay. And the fact that 45 got COVID though kind of shows that karma will happen to those, that there's good karma and there's bad karma, and that karma really does exist. And overall, please vote, and please make sure to vote though, because we really need to. And make sure to stay safe. If you are in LA though, make sure to to drink some water, stay hydrated, be in a cooling area, or just making sure that you're safe. Alright guys, if you have any thoughts, comments, or concerns regarding in this video though, make sure to comment down below, like and subscribe, and stay safe, take good care of yourself, and remember, always make your money as long as you're doing it safely, and as long as you know what the rewards, risks, and consequences are, and that you have the right to decide as long as you feel like you're comfortable in it. Alright, guys, take good care and have a wonderful night and get some sleep. And tomorrow's gonna be another day. Alright, guys, see you on the next. Alright, guys, this is Scary Navarro, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.